Joining us here on the set is going to be our winner. Congratulations.
Hi, thank you so much. I did not expect to win.
You didn't.
No, I was aiming for top 10. There's so many fast puzzlers here, and I totally thought they were going to totally beat me.
But apparently you're a very fast puzzler too then, because you beat the fast puzzlers.
Yes, I guess so. I just got lucky today, thank you.
I doubt the lucky, but so we also want to say that Yvonne Foyt, right? Is that how you
That's correct.
Okay. And so what about this puzzle? First part, what part did you find easy that helped you win the individual competition?
Well, I did the letters in the sky first because, well, first of all, I'm most familiar with this symbol because I've seen it everywhere, right? So, like, so easy to pick out and then do that first. So I did this first. And I was like, why not do the San Diego next? And so I picked those out and I did that. And then, of course, the red is the...
Hotel del Coronado. I picked that out. That's what everybody got, the roof of the building.
Yeah, that was just easy to pick the pieces out of the bunch, and so might as well just start there. And then I did the fancy towers because those are easy to pick out, pieces to pick out. Like, I just went for the pieces that kind of looked easy to pick out and sort out. And then I think I did this for next, and then the things, and then I realized that the solid purple was easy to do, so I did the freeway, and then I did the border here, and then filled in the border. And then, of course, I did the trees, I don't know, in between the buildings sometime. And then I filled in the rest of the border, and then it was only solid pieces left, and I hate solid colors. So I was swearing the whole time. I was under my breath. It was a lot of swearing and yelling at the pieces, being like, why aren't you going in? You should go in there.
So the sun and maybe this section of the sky under the San Diego is where...
I did this darker gray first because that was easiest because that was the least amount of pieces, and then this because that was the next least amount of pieces. Then I did the border of the sun because that's easy to pick out, and then the interior of the sun where I swore at those pieces for a while, and then I only had blue left, and I swore at those pieces for a while.
For a longer time, probably.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically, I suffer on solid colors a lot, so I thought that would lose me the race. But I was very surprised when I finished first.
Excellent. Well, congratulations. So, in fact, Brian's been kind of tallying up how everybody's been doing on all the competitions of the weekend, kind of going by that to say, oh man, they did great in the team, the pairs, they're going to probably do really good in individual. And so, Yvonne...
You were in the top three.
I was in the top three?
Coming into the individuals, you were tied for third.
Tied for third?
Yeah.
That's what we did.
You signed like points to the places?
Correct.
Yeah, so you finished, is looking at Brian's sheet here, so you finished third in the team, fourth in the pairs, and then number one in the individual. So we just kind of looked to see who else did really good. So Sarah was first in the team, fourth in the pairs. You were just kind of behind her. Melinda and Gray were fourth and second. So that's kind of what we did to see, okay, who are the people that finished the top in all the competitions.
I see.
And so you were
that's
third,
cool.
fourth, and first, and now you're the
Happy
winner.
with third. I'll take first.
Excellent. Great. Great.
I have a question for you. So near the end, did you shape sort at all?
I did a real quick, get all the pieces that don't have two furs out and on the side. I did it real quick for the yellow and the blue only, just because I needed that to get through that solid colors fast. And that's the only way I could have done that, and at any good speed.
So how are your nerves? Like, walk me through that, because you're puzzling. You're on a table with one of your friends, and all your friends are around you. So how are you feeling as everyone's snapping them in?
I usually get really nervous for individuals because, like, pairs and teams, I can talk to my teammates and, like, the banter helps calm me down. But as an individual, and I know Mindy kind of, but not like super well. We kind of talked, but as I was going through the puzzle, I was like, all right, if I need to talk to somebody, I'm going to talk to the puzzle.
Swear at the puzzle.
Yeah, basically just swear at the puzzle. So I was just doing that, and I was super nervous. In the pairs, my hands were shaking, but I got
Valerie Coit, one of the board members of the USA Jigsaw Puzzle Association, was talking about that as well, about how she got more nervous in the individual, just like you described, that when there's a pair or team, she can kind of let a little steam off and chat back and forth.
Yeah.
So you feel the exact same way.
I do. Yeah, it's hard. So this is only like the second time I've competed individual-wise by my live. The first time being world champion. And then I'm just trying to figure out those coping mechanisms that you should use in high pressure situations like this. So I think I finally figured something out. I must have did it right.
Breathing, being the personal trainer, we're always talking about, you find yourself getting too hyped up. Breathing and nostril breathing, because when we breathe through our mouth, we kind of hyperventilate. We're only breathing into the shallow top part of the lungs, the physiology part. That's the sympathetic system. That's the fight or flight. You want to breathe through your nose and deeper into your abdomen, the diaphragmatic breathing, and that's actually rest and digest. So breathing through your mouth shallow is only going to just wind you up more, and think through the nose and slowly out through the mouth. And that's what they've actually, breathing certification courses talk to you about that. That's one that I'm taking. I've studied a little bit. I'm going to get a certification just in breathing as on an aside, just so I can do other work with my clients. But I just wanted to give you that as maybe a little thing. So, and they say the nostril breathing, you get more oxygen out of the air you're drawing in, and you even get a little more oxygen as you're exhaling, as opposed to through your lungs, and you're not even getting any. So it actually keeps you calmer, your brain a little sharper.
In a yoga class I take, they breathe in for a count of 4, hold it for a count of 4, and then breathe out for a count of 4. So I was trying to do that a little bit.
That's the guy I'm going to take this class with. That's exactly it. Pranayama breathing from yoga.
Oh, yeah. So I try to do that a little, but sometimes, my mind doesn't let me do that. So.
But that's exactly what it is. Exactly. And then they do the different, you said the counts, then you can do to get yourself hyped up if you need to, if you're running low on energy and it's a late afternoon and it's like, oh, I got to get perked up, I still got work to do. They talk about emphasizing the inhalation and holding it, and then exhale shorter. But if you need to calm down, you focus on the exhale, make that longer, hold out longer, do a shorter breathe, inhale and hold less. So there's all kinds of these, yeah. So, pranayama breathing, it's the yoga breathing, and depending on what you want to do. You get hyped up, need more energy, or you need to calm down before bed. So hopefully, something like, you're already doing that on your own. You said that. So.
Yeah, I was trying to. I mean, it's hard to empty your mind and then think about just your breathing. Right? But you're like, oh, I should do the edges. Oh, wait, I'm breathing right now. No, I should do this first. No.
You're right. And when I was doing the stretch and strengthen session here, I was like, got to keep breathing. It's always like, because when we get really intense and focused on something, we tend to hold that breath. So it's like, no, we got to breathe. Please breathe.
Yeah.
You obviously lift and work out. You know all about the breathe, not holding that breath in when you're doing a big bench press or
Correct.
something.
I try not to hurt myself. Yeah.
Yeah, because you can hurt yourself. You bet. Good.
No, absolutely.
It's working good. Cause
Thank you.
We didn't talk about this, but I'm a trainer. I had to at least say something about the guy next to me that's obviously lifting way more than I do. So, all right. Well, we're really excited to have you here and partaking in all three competitions.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was so much fun, and the organizers did an amazing job, especially for the first time. I think this was amazing. I thought it was going to be this is something you've done for years, it feels like, but you've only done it. I know.
Excellent. Well, thanks again, and congratulations.
Thank you.
All right.
One last question before you go. What are you doing to celebrate?
I'm driving home to LA.
Sunday night traffic to LA is not good.
I will definitely take a drink for sure. I need a drink.
Good. All right. Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
All right. And we have Karen Puzzles coming back to the table as our second place finisher in the individuals. Congratulations.
Thank you. I was not expecting that at all.
You obviously, this was a puzzle then obviously that may have played to some of your strengths then for that great finish?
Yeah, this is my favorite type of puzzle. As soon as I saw the illustration, I was like, yes, I got this.
You did.
I loved solid colored, like blocky, modern illustrations. That's like all the puzzles I do just for fun. So.
Right. So kind of Art Deco-y
Yeah,
kind
and
of.
the colors are easy to separate. So like it's easy to just grab all the oranges. So yeah.
All right. And you were neck and neck with Gray because you guys were at tables right next to each other.
Yeah, I could just glance over and see, and we were like, I kept glancing over because I thought she was going to be like so far ahead of me, because obviously how well she did at Worlds. But then I was like, oh, I'm kind of keeping pace.
It was excellent. And the camera angle we had, you could see your puzzle and Gray's next to each other. So we were going like, I think Karen's got a couple of less pieces. I think she's ahead by, in fact, we were.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
We were definitely on
Yeah.
that. So how did you feel when you were coming down to the end then? And
Oh my God. Nobody had finished, and I was almost done. And I was like, what's happening? Am I missing something? Like, what's happening? It kind of made it more stressful, especially because it was so quiet in here because of the pairs, or no teams, no pairs, no one was talking to each other.
Right.
So it was a little like eerie and just kind of silent.
That's funny. That's exactly what I said. It's eerie. So I walked over there, and you could just hear click, click, and then when it's click, 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 you're like, oh my gosh. I was getting excited.
And then I heard the cheers, so I knew that one person finished. And then I was so close, and I kept waiting for someone else to finish, and then I finished.
And we were all watching on the monitor, and we all jumped up and said, Karen did number 2. That was, yeah, it was awesome. And the times, in fact, right here.
Oh, do you
Let's
have
just
them?
peek. Yeah, so you were only seconds behind. So
Okay,
you were
can I-
34 seconds.
Can I tell you something that happened that I don't think the live stream picked up?
Sure.
Okay, a few minutes into it, I had the entire bottom edge done, plus a little bit on the sides, and I knocked it, and I knocked like 10 edge pieces onto the floor, and I had to lean down, pick them up, redo that part of the edge. And if I hadn't done that, like, who knows?
That might have been the 34
Maybe.
Second, that's impressive.
Well, because also when I opened this, I was like, it's a fairly easy image. That kind of makes it more stressful because there's no margin for error. Everyone's going to be really fast. And so when that happened, I was like, oh, this is going to put me like really far behind. But I got back on track, and then I guess it worked out.
It certainly worked out. So your followers are going to be very thrilled when you can post it. Those that haven't heard about this yet.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be so great just for the YouTube video. In my head, I'm already like, all right, this is going to be so dramatic. I'm thinking about the music I'm going to add.
Right, of course.
You get the trophy too, so.
Yeah, I just walked over and looked at it, and yeah, I'll be able to put that right on the background of my puzzle shelves.
Question, walk us through your strategy when you first saw it. So you said break it down. Like, what was going through your head?
So I started by turning everything over, and I separated the edges at the same time that I turned everything over. I did the logo because that was easy right in the corner. I tried to do the San Diego text, and for some reason I just could not, usually text is my favorite part, and I just could not figure out how they went together, so I abandoned that. Then I think I did the sun because the yellow is easy to spot. Then I did the orange building because, again, super easy to pull out those pieces. Then the trees, and then, the rest just kind of all came together. Yeah. I felt like I was definitely jumping around a lot, so I thought I was super disorganized, but I guess not.
That strategy paid off. Did you do any shape sorting?
No, actually, I thought when I got to all this blue at the top, I thought I would have to, but I just sort of organized them into a grid, but not by shape, and then I could see everything well enough that I didn't have to.
That's fun to watch.
And I think what we saw from most of the people coming down to the wire is maybe the little bit of blue over here and a little bit of blue over there or something like that.
Well, I think it's smart to not do the blue edge first, to leave all of the blue until the end, because as you get the middle filled in, you can work off of that and then just add the edge pieces, which is way easier than just trying to do the edge on its own.
Right. When it's just a solid
Yeah, when
color like
only that part, just the solid color.
Right. You know, we'd heard from the folks on the live stream that they liked us talking about the strategy because it, for the amateurs out there and stuff, they want to hear how the pros look at a puzzle picture
Yeah.
and say, okay, here's what I'm going to do first, here's what I'm going to do second. And so that's why we really wanted to have you
Yeah.
help break that down. So
I mean,
appreciate
for
that.
some reason, when I looked at this, I could not distinguish the textures of these different buildings. So I left the buildings until last and did them a little bit at a time. Yeah, that was pretty tough because it's all the same colors repeated over and over.
The white and kind of goldish,
Yeah.
and the blues in there.
And every second that you spend looking at the image feels like a second that you're not putting puzzle pieces in.
So there's, you know, you need to look at the image, but you know that's that trade-off.
Yep.
It's like how much time do I look at the image and how get back to it. Oh,
Yep.
hour 30. So we just passed an hour
Oh.
30 on the timer. So
Okay.
we have 30 minutes left. Has your sister finished?
Yeah, I was just going to say, when I came over here, Katie was doing really well. I left my phone recording her because I was like, you're probably going to finish while I'm over there.
Okay, right. Okay. Well, certainly we're wishing good luck for her. Sarah Schuler.
We were all within a minute.
Yeah, minute and one. 61 seconds apart between you three. So bless you.
Sorry.
We'll get you. No, not at all. We'll get you. It's been a long day. You haven't drank much or ate, and yeah, we're getting dry. So we'll go down to where. Okay, and oh my, we're over 50 now. We got 52 in, and the times we'd been updating all the way through. I don't see, and some they're entering as we speak, so there's more names popping up on here all the time. We're just trying to see if your sister finished and where that was, but it doesn't look like we have any new. Yeah, bless you. I'm sorry. No, okay, we'll let you go. Thank you for joining us and congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, we're looking forward to more videos from you soon.
Congrats.
Welcome back to the dais. Good job.
That was awesome. Whew, that was a tough one. I am, again, as we said earlier, bad at solid colors, and that was a lot of solid color. But, you know, with that, I'm pretty happy. That was really close.
So a minute
Oh,
and
wow.
one between the top three.
That's amazing.
Yes, it was.
That must have been so stressful for everyone to watch at home. Yeah. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Whew.
Yeah.
What were you thinking as soon as you opened up?
I honestly didn't even look at the image. I just started flipping. I saw that it had the USA logo, and I saw that it was going to be San Diego, but I didn't really pay attention to anything. I was like, I'm just going to flip because I'm slow at flipping. That's my weak spots. I've been better. I've gotten better now, but I was like, I'm just going to flip, and I started sorting border, and then I'm like, why am I doing this? I don't want to do any of it, but I saved it out to the side. But I grabbed out all that orange and just went to town on the orange. I grabbed up the yellow, but I was like, this is solid later. So I did a lot of sorting at the beginning, and then I've lately been just putting all the pieces in my hand and then just pulling one out and putting it in where it's supposed to go instead of having them spread. So I don't know if that makes me faster or slower, but I mean, it seemed to work today. So yeah, it worked today.
On this puzzle, and it's kind of a one-off every time, right? The puzzle's different, so maybe you have to adjust your strategy.
Exactly. Yeah, you have to change your strategy for every puzzle. So like this one, you wouldn't want to do borders first necessarily because the top border is just all pieces of blue. I had it wrong in some places, so I had to quick fix it. But yeah, it was a fun puzzle. I enjoyed it though. I think it was the perfect amount of challenge with that single color areas because it can get difficult when it's over 100 pieces of black. But this one, it was like maybe 30 or 40 solid color pieces total. So I also had a problem with the clouds. There's like the cloud white section, and then there's the white and blue at the bottom, and it was the same color. And I kept trying to put the bottom section in the cloud. I'm like, this is not cloud shaped. Right. And so I went back down to the bottom, and it worked out. But yeah. I was literally shaking at the end trying to put pieces in. I was like, I need to get these in, and my hands were shaking, and I don't think I've ever shook shaked. I don't know what word we're supposed to use there. I've never been so shook in my life.
Exactly. That's a new technical term. We're inventing new terms here in the Jigsaw Puzzle Association.
We're starting a glossary here, exactly, a gloss.
We need that.
The sun to the yellow blob.
That was Valerie's. That yellow blob there, and I go, you're from Minnesota. You
Yeah.
probably haven't seen it a lot, but he's from
It's a
Texas.
what?
Yeah, exactly.
I thought it was just a yellow blob. I was like, why is it there? No, yeah. My mom said that. I just called her on the phone after I got done, obviously, because, got to call your mom first. And she said that a lot of people started with the sun. Is that true?
So it was actually kind of interesting. There were some people that they either did the sun or didn't do the sun. So almost everyone started with the red, and then people either did the sun or did the sun at the very end.
Oh, yeah. I sorted it at the beginning, but I did it at the end.
Karen said that she did the sun next. I think, or maybe she did the sun. The sun was one of the first things she did.
Right.
I think she actually did the sun first, or logo, sun, and then the red.
Yeah, good strategy.
Logo, red,
And then I don't even know. I was like really having a moment where I could not finish one section. So I kept like, I would start seeing something. I was like, oh, I see a bunch of white, and I would do a little bit of white, and then I wouldn't finish it. And then I'd be like, oh, the road. I'm gonna do the road now. And so I just like really flipped around a lot between sections, which is not usually how I do it. But I guess that's kind of been my strategy today. When I was doing the sprints earlier, someone was like, oh, you know what you do different than me? You work on different sections at the same time. And I was like, do I? Oh, okay. Yeah, but I guess that's my strategy today is to work on different sections at the same time.
do you have the puzzle memorized in your head almost then? You're like, oh, I know this is here, or...
No. I wish I had like the photographic memory or whatever it is that you can just remember where everything is. But
How do you know you're working on two different sections?
I like looked up occasionally. I would glance really quick and be like, okay, if stripes are in 2 different buildings or 3 different buildings, or there's some frilly architectural stuff on this building. I'm sure these are all actually buildings here in San Diego.
This is the Hotel del Coronado
Okay.
out on Coronado. It's called an island, but it's really a peninsula. But they film movies there. I mentioned
Oh,
it's
fun.
ancient. Marilyn Monroe and Some Like It Hot
Oh,
was there.
I've seen that movie.
Okay, that's
movie.
where it's on the beach. There's a beach. It's
Oh.
on the beach out there. Yeah, I mean, it's probably one of the, besides the zoo and SeaWorld, it's probably the biggest tourist attraction.
Yeah,
in
for
San
sure,
Diego.
for sure. Yeah, it was a really fun puzzle though. I liked it. It was a good little thing to bring home. I don't usually keep puzzles, but I think this one might get kept.
You're not going to sell it. That's good. I'm glad.
We're giving away our team's 1500 though on Instagram sometime next week. We all signed it. Oh, cool. And we thought it would be fun.
So, question back on the puzzling. When you got to the end, were you doing any piece sorting? Like, how were you feeling at the very, very end?
Yeah, I mean, I was dying. I might need some stretching after this with you. My shoulder goes out while I'm puzzling all the time. It's just one specific spot in my shoulder, and so I was like dying putting these in. But I did shape sorted, and but then I like kind of ignored it and just jammed pieces in as much as like. That's just my strategy when I get to a solid color section. I am not good at seeing shapes in puzzle pieces. I've never been good at that. I just the spatial thing isn't there for me. I need the textures or the colors. So I was just flip and rotate.
Walk me through jamming them in. Do you do one at a time in the same spot, or you take one piece and jam it in every different spot?
Yeah, well, in this one, I did sort all the shapes out. So when I saw like a little foot, I would just slam all the foot pieces in it and see which one fit, and I would like hold them in my hand and be like trying to put them in. But yeah, so it was, and then there was some times when I just tried them all around the corner, or I'd be like, okay, this has a fat hole on it. I need to find the fat knob piece that goes in it. So
Everyone's technical terms for these: the foots, the knobs, the fat holes.
Yeah, the glossary for next year. We'll have the catalog.
yeah, we seriously need that. I thought about starting one for my blog, like having because everyone calls it different things. Some people call it like the person, or innies and outies, or like the terrible twos is the piece with the classic puzzle piece shape. So, but I call them 2 ins, 2 outs sometimes too.
No, that works. Innies, outies, that's kind of what I say.
I like innies and outies. It's funny, like belly buttons.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
Well, awesome.
So you got to, when are you heading back to St. Paul?
Tomorrow night, so we're gonna go do some celebrating before award ceremony later. That's not getting live streamed, is it? That's too bad.
Yeah, it's not.
Well. Oh yeah, like a Facebook Live or something. Yeah, I changed into my USA JPA jersey for the for the award ceremony. I thought it would be a little weird to compete in it because it's kind of there's buttons. It's like it hangs down. You don't want anything. Yeah, you don't want anything loose. No loose clothing when you're puzzling in a competition.
To the stage 3 times for first, fourth, and third.
Thank you. I heard you guys were talking about who's first overall and stuff. What did you end up?
We're talking to her.
I am. Ah! That's so exciting.
So this is our own kind of point system.
Yeah, I want to know how did you do it?
So these are my own points. You actually tied with Yvonne. Yeah. Yeah, so you two are tied. So you got first, fourth, and third. So that's a total of 8 points. And you're on lowest points
Yeah.
is like all. And then Yvonne is
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's awesome. Yeah. Oh, we had
the same amount of weight.
we had such a cute little moment when she came over after I finished and we hugged and all my friends screenshot it and sent it to me and I'm like, yay! It's so cute. Oh, it was great to see my pair win. That was awesome. That was awesome.
There's a reason y'all are pairs and a reason y'all win in pairs.
Yeah. It was great. Oh, what a great day.
Excellent. And the whole weekend.
Oh, yeah, the whole weekend. And tomorrow, I guess, I'm going to be here until the afternoon, so. Yeah, maybe I'll go to the
Go
tourist
to the
spots on my
hotel
puzzle.
And exactly. The beach and all of that stuff. So
Awesome.
great work. It
Thank
was
you.
pleasure talking with you
Yes,
as
you
well,
guys
Sarah.
too.
All right, thank you.
excited.
All right.
I'll
All
be
right.
back
We'll
next
see
year.
you. Good. Perfect.
Go celebrate. You earned it.
Yes. Right. Hello,
Oh, it's good to meet you.
Kelly, and tell us your full name.
I'm Kelly Walter.
All right.
Yes.
Where are you from?
Originally from Chicago, but I live in Boston now.
Live in Boston.
Yeah.
Okay. So you flew cross country to be out here.
6 hours. Yeah, it was a long flight.
Was it worth it?
I think so. I think I did pretty well. So
So how did you finish in the individual?
I got 4th.
Fourth. All right.
Yeah, a elusive
All right.
4th. Thank you.
So you had a time of 57:04. You were just 2 minutes 23 seconds behind the first place.
And I lost a piece.
Did.
So subtract 10 seconds.
Okay, gotcha.
Which piece did you lose?
The white one at the bottom, it was part of the bubbles. It was like right there. It was like mainly white. I think it was just in the packaging. I've never done in-person events, so I was like a little nervous.
May have not got dumped out of the.
Yeah.
This is your first in-person event, and you got fourth.
Yeah. Thank you.
So you didn't do the. Oh, you would know. He's on track of where everybody did in all the competitions, and I'm not. I haven't been able to maintain. Process all
lot
of
of
that.
names.
Yeah, right. So you didn't do the pairs or the team.
No. No, I would do the pairs when my sister was here, but I don't know that many people, so.
I think a lot of people know you now, so you're gonna get hit up a lot for teams and pairs.
I was kind of jealous I didn't get to do the teams yesterday. It looked really fun, so yeah.
5.5 hours of fun.
Yeah.
She's young. Her back and shoulders will take that, right? Some of the older competitors like, not 5.5. So, what are you thinking about for the future then?
I don't know. Maybe Spain in June. That sounds nice. We'll see. Yeah.
Well, you would do the U.S. proud by finishing fourth here in the individuals, so we would love to have you over there.
I hope so. Thank you so much.
Just the individuals over there, or you think about maybe doing?
I'm happy to do teams and pairs, and yeah, I just.
It's out there now, so maybe it'll come back to you with people saying, "We
Hopefully.
can use her on our team." For sure.
Hopefully.
So anyone watching, a pro right here, wants a team. Oh, you're definitely a pro.
We'll see.
First competition, and you're going to be on the medal stands.
We'll see. We'll see.
I want to hear your strategy. Walk us through what did you think when you first opened the puzzle, and then what were you sorting over there?
So I was
Show the folks
I
here
was
real
talking to my table mate Suzanne. She's super nice, and she was like, I'm really good at like long, like the earlier puzzles, the pair puzzles. She's like, I would have loved that. I was like, I would not have liked that. The sky, no, but the buildings are what I really liked because the patterns were pretty easy to put together. And then I think all of us left the blue and the yellow to the end. Yeah.
And what about the border?
I don't do it first. It kind of as I go, I do the border. So I definitely did the top border last.
That's what we heard from a lot of people because there was just, nothing to tell what that was going to be.
That's awesome. It was very interesting. A lot of like everyone that finished in the top 5, 10, everyone did the same strategy. No one really did the border. And for me, I'm like, I'm going to always do the border first.
It's definitely something when I started competing, I had to like stray away from that because you're so used to like just sorting out the edges. Like when you're doing it casually, I think that's a more natural way to do it.
How'd you feel at the end? What was like, were your nerves? Were you shape sorting or were you sweating?
I was shaking. Well, because I was by all of like the people who were finishing first, so I could see all of there was a bunch of volunteers, a bunch of people around. So I was shaking, and I was just jamming the blue pieces in. Because once I started the blue section, I don't think anyone had finished yet, or they had just finished. So I knew I was close. Yeah.
For everyone at home, Kelly's spot was right next to where all the visitors can kind of watch, and she was next to the people that finished second and third. Yeah, so everyone's finishing around you, snaps, and everyone's cheering the cameras. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot. There was a lot of people. I had my headphones in. I was like, just keep going. I'm almost done.
That's a hack right here.
We were talking about that just a little bit ago about like, does listening to something help you, or are you just blocking stuff out? Or are you listening to fast-paced music to get you going?
I made myself a playlist for this event. Music that I'd like run to. It like helps me. I focus on that instead of everything else around me. So.
I do that too. So what was on your playlist? Give us a few.
Oh, I don't know.
What was the winning song? What was the winning song? Do you remember?
I think at that point I droned everything out. It's more in the middle when you're like, I just need to keep going. Like, it's kind of like the new songs, and it helps you not get into like a rut of like, yeah, it helps.
Let's post your playlist on Instagram. It would be fun.
I don't think anyone wants that. We'll see.
Okay. Excellent. So maybe the world's. Thank you so much for coming, and we look to seeing you back next year.
I really enjoyed it. Thank you. Thank you.
Larry and I have talked. I've not met you yet, Mary.
No.
How are you?
I'm very good. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. And your last name is
Carty
RT, and you're from where?
from St. Louis.
St. Louis.
Yeah.
All right, excellent. And you did. You finished 8th.
Yes.
Hour, 1 minute, 50 seconds. How did you feel about that?
I was good. I loved this puzzle.
Oh, great! Because that's what we were going to ask you about. So you felt really good about this puzzle.
When I turned it over and saw it, I was immediately, oh yeah, this is good.
Okay. So you like solid colors.
I liked the colors and it was bright. This morning's puzzle was dark, and I did not like that as well. No.
We heard that from all the folks that came up to talk to us. They're like, too dark. We were just trying to stick shapes in there. We couldn't really see the detail. So what did you do first and what did you do last?
I started with the sun. So I did
Okay.
the yellow sun first, and then I worked the orange and blues, and then the last part was the sky. That's
Of
you.
course,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
part under the San Diego.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that pretty much everyone, and a lot of people saved the sun for last, but a few people did it early on. So what worked? It worked for you.
It seemed to.
Everybody was afraid of that top edge.
Yeah, which wasn't too bad once you had enough of this done. It worked out.
Right.
It's all those little pieces in the middle that get harder.
Okay. Yes,
Yeah, because then they're, which angle do I put it in? And
Great. So you competed yesterday in the teams, the foursomes, Craven for
I
Raven.
competed in all three
Oh, you did, and
competitions
then you
this
did
weekend.
that's
Yes,
right, you
with
mentioned.
Larry.
And you competed as well this morning. So Larry?
I did.
All right. And your last name?
Blank.
Blank. All right. And I certainly saw that on the list. Yes. Like
Not on
Mel
this.
with an NK. You're up
No.
Oh, you didn't compete in the individual?
No, I did, but I'm way down there. I just
Okay.
yeah. I didn't have as good a as an event as I've had previously. But when we were doing the pairs, we did much better because Murray is a very good puzzler.
All right. So what about you? What did you think when you saw this?
I thought it was very colorful. I really enjoyed it. I started with the writing, and then I went over to the San Diego writing, and then over to the orange and the trees. And whatever I did may not have worked as good as I thought it was, but it was enjoyable. My problem was I had my mind. I'm from Philadelphia,
Right.
and my mind was on the baseball game.
on the Padres and the Phillies.
yes,
All right.
yeah, and I
so
just
you
heard-
couldn't.
Well, no, I can multitask, but my mind was on that. But I thoroughly enjoyed this.
All right.
The whole weekend was great. Yeah.
Glad to have you guys here. So you thinking about maybe coming back next year? We heard people talk about the Worlds in Spain.
Thinking about Larry was at the Worlds. He's the one that connected me with this whole organization. So we both competed in the 80s in the competition that was held in Athens, Ohio,
Ohio.
which has been quite a while ago.
So the 80s.
Yeah, I think it was from 82 till 90, not every year, but I competed a bunch of those years, and Larry found me on Facebook and said, hey, do you know they've started up another thing? And so that's how I got him.
I was looking for her for about 3 years because when I heard they were going to have the tournament in Spain, I figured that's something that she might be interested in because she did really well back in the 80s. I believe she came in second in the country in the singles. So I figured maybe she'd be a good teammate.
Right.
And then after we planned for a 1 year, we had to back off because of the virus. And then by the time I connected with her, I think I had already been at Spain, and we're planning on going back most likely. I'm not sure of the exact details.
Right. But you definitely said, well, I'm coming here, and you talked her into coming here, or was she already?
No, I had told her about this as well as a few other people, and everybody's been thanking me for turning them on to that. Yeah, not only the city, but the whole organization. It's just fantastic.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you being a spokesperson for us and getting the word out and helping turn out.
Sure.
So thank you. The recruiter as well. So it was wonderful to have you here.
Thank you.
And I'm glad you had fun.
It was a great weekend. It really
All right,
was.
Great. And you got copies of all the puzzles to take home?
Pretty much. We not every single one, but
okay.
because we shared some of them, so But I've got enough to go home. I hadn't planned. See, I'm flying, so I hadn't planned for so many extra puzzles, and it'll be an interesting trip home.
Okay. Well, good luck with that.
Thank you.
All right.
The 1,500 piece puzzle we did was it yesterday, right?
Yeah.
I did not want to take that home. I said, anybody can have that. I did not want that. That was a little too rough for me. I don't think I'll ever do that one again.
I mentioned this during the live stream yesterday a couple of times. It was somebody right on the end. The ladies were in talking, and I was taking a break and going around, and they ripped open that 1,500 piece puzzle, and she goes, "It's beautiful. It's going to be awful." And that was it. She was the second line. It's going to be awful.
Good line. Yeah.
That's why I keep repeating it. It's so funny. I wish I would have had that, got that on tape when she was saying it. But anyway, well, we would love to see you guys at the Worlds. Certainly want to see you back here next year, whether it's San Diego or St. Louis or Philly or wherever that we're going to have it.
That sounds good. Possibly Atlanta, I heard.
Oh, okay. There you go. All right.
I'll travel anywhere.
All right. You got it. And I wish I could wish you good luck for the Phillies, but we're in San Diego. You're playing the Padres. We can't wish you good luck, but
The game may be over by now.
okay.
With a Philly victory, I'm hoping.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. And I didn't even hear the other night because I've been doing this. So would that be the series?
Yes, it would. Well, it would get us to the World Series, and Philadelphia will be going crazy tonight. And I hope so. I hope it happens. Yep.
All right. Well, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Larry. All right. Okay. Thank you so much for joining us here on the live stream and to the